Good afternoon, and welcome to the Board of Health meeting of January 27th, 2025. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet. If anyone else is recording this meeting, please notify the chairman. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 29, 2023 signing of the Acts of 2023, extending COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law until March 31st, 2025. This meeting of the Chatham Board of Health is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling the phone number 508-945-4410. The ID number is 497-730-417#. They may join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV Channel 8 and 1072, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. I'll turn this over to our chairman, Noble Hanson. Thank you.
Thank you. It shall be the policy of this board to conduct its meetings under the open meetings law so as to encourage public participation whenever time permits and as part of agenda item discussions. So we have two things on the agenda for today, but first we'll establish a quorum, and when I call your name, please say present. Carol Boyce.
Here.
John Beckley.
Present.
Ron Broman.
Here.
Dick Edwards.
Present.
Ron Weiser.
Present.
And Joanne Kale.
Here.
Okay. So first on the agenda is a continuance of a variance hearing for Patrick Brogan, 346 Morris Island Road, Speakman Construction. And we have Mr. Speakman here to present the case. Dan? Yeah, you can go up to the, yeah.
Good afternoon. So this variance request is a result of a failed septic inspection. So the variances we're seeking are mostly setbacks from property lines, setback from the wetland, and a variance from the groundwater separation of 5 feet to 4 feet. Mostly as a result of we're limited with the location of the septic system, trying to get the greatest distance away from everything. There isn't that much more to it. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Just a couple things. Why did the system fail? Because of transfer?
Well, it was too low to the groundwater, and it was kind of located underneath the garage.
And how did it come to be inspected?
Is it real estate transfer?
Is it a
real estate transfer? Yeah.
Okay. And this is a proposed, or this is an existing house?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
An existing house, it's not new construction?
Existing, yeah.
Okay, all right. Questions or comments from the board?
Well, on one of the plans, it shows a living room on the first floor, but that's really a bedroom. That's the fourth bedroom.
That's the fourth bedroom, yeah.
So there's not going to be any increase in the number of bedrooms.
Right. I went through the building department records, and that's the way it was approved originally. So, yeah.
Yeah, let me ask, so it's a 38,295 square foot lot, and the bedrooms were approved by the Board of Health Chair in a memo in 1996, so that's just why it's grandfathered, you mean?
That's, you know, at the time, it was looked at and it was considered a 4-bedroom. So that TV room in the middle on the top floor, that was considered a TV room at the time. So sometimes I have to do a little extra research to make sure that, you know, the history of the project is documented, and I just thought I'd let you know that it is a 4-bedroom, not a 5-bedroom.
Okay. Other questions or comments?
Now, that TV room, are the steps open coming up there?
The pictures I saw, they do, yeah, they open up as you step into it, so,
So
I mean,
it's
they-
not walled, it's not the,
no, not at that point, no, not that I,
and the door between that and the bedroom,
there is a door, yeah,
it's a door.
yeah.
So the reason the TV room isn't a bed, isn't a bedroom is because of the open staircase.
Open staircase.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, usually we ask for an architectural plan that shows the doorway width and the arches and all that sort of thing, but you've actually inspected this place.
I looked at the building department file, and, yeah,
There is
we,
a separate sheet for the floor plan.
right.
Yeah, yes.
I do have another one that has a little bit more detail on it, but I didn't want to confuse the situation too much.
All right, it seems pretty straightforward. The septic system is way up in the northwestern corner of the lot, about as far away as it can be from the water, so,
The big thing on this one was the variance to groundwater. So they're giving 4 feet instead of 5 feet, which is allowable under a local upgrade approval under Title V for, basically for a repair. So
Alternatively, it would have to be raised.
it would have to be raised higher, yeah. And that, that would be difficult on this property.
Okay,
It's very tight.
right.
and the previous septic system is in approximately the same location as the new system?
Yeah, it's kind of in dotted lines underneath there,
Yeah.
Partially under the garage.
right front corner of the garage.
So this leaching area is actually an improvement over what was there previously. This is gonna be a bigger area, cement.
Yes.
So,
Garage is a slab, but it is further away from,
okay.
Yeah, it definitely is an improvement, I would say.
And the previous system failed because of the inspection at transfer?
Yes,
Yeah, so, and this is an improvement. So,
The reason it failed was because of the leaching system was,
too close to the groundwater, it's like 3 feet.
it was too close there. And in order to correct that problem, what has been done with the new leaching
Correct what's
field?
existing?
Yeah,
No, that
it's-
in combination with the fact that it's, some part of it is underneath the garage, that's not,
so they raised
Workable.
it. The new,
They raised
the
it.
new leaching area that they're putting in, and they raised it up a foot.
right. So that
So instead of
problem
3
being
feet to
close the
groundwater, it's
groundwater
4
is
feet.
resolved.
We've gained on that at least.
Right.
okay. Are there any comments from the public on this 346 Mars Island Road?
I don't see any.
No, none?
Just another comment, just
Yeah.
that they are also replacing the septic tank, which was 1,250 gallons, and replacing it with a 1,500 gallon. And you can, so it's slightly bigger, that septic tank. So you get a little bit more retention time in there.
Okay,
I move that we approve this variance request with the conditions listed in Judy's letter.
yeah. And then second, and then Judy can read the conditions.
Yep, the applicant should restrict the property to a maximum of 4 bedrooms and record the restriction on the deed at Barnstable County Registry of Deeds and submit a copy of the executed deed restriction to the board. The engineer shall submit an engineered as-built plan, including as-built elevations with a written certification that the system has been installed in accordance with the approved plan, and no alteration of the floor plan of the dwelling is allowed without further review by the board or its agent. That's it.
Okay, again, any input from the public? Hearing none, we can take a voice vote, I think. All in favor of the variance for 346 Morris Island Road, say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, say no. Okay, so that variance is granted, Mr. Speakman?
thank you very much, appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, next
Dan.
on the agenda is a variance hearing for Jonathan Seam, 600 Fox Hill Road, J.C. Engineering LLC. And do we have someone from J.C. Engineering?
Yes, we do. Can you
Mike,
folks hear me
we
okay?
can't hear you, Mike. Do you have your,
It's not on mute.
there you go. We can hear you now.
You can? Okay, great. Yeah, so for the record, my name is Mike Pimentel, and I'm with JC Engineering. And we're working on this project for our septic system upgrade over at 600 Fox Hill Road. It's currently a 3-bedroom home, and it has an existing 1,000-gallon tank to a single leaching trench that's located right in front of the home. And there are a couple of resource areas on the property, one of which is a salt marsh that's located behind the property, behind the house, and also a coastal bank. The existing septic system is currently within 100 feet of the coastal bank and salt marsh. What we're proposing to do is utilize the existing tank that's there now and put in a new Title V system with more capacity than the existing leaching trench that's there. The new leaching system would be 2 500-gallon chambers with crushed stone surrounding it. We put the new leaching system basically in the same vicinity as the existing because there really isn't that much room on this property to shoehorn a new septic system and get it farther away from the resource areas. So because of that, we are seeking 2 local upgrade approvals for the leaching system and a local variance to the coastal bank. The local upgrade approvals include the setback from the SES to the house foundation. We're required to have 20 feet. We're providing 15.2 feet. So we're asking for a 4.8-foot waiver on that variance. And then there's also the setback from the SES to the coastal bank, which Title V requires 50, and we're providing 40.4 feet. And lastly, we have a local variance to your to the Chatham regulations. There's a 100-foot minimum that's required for setback from the SES to the coastal bank. We're providing, again, 40.4 feet, and that's a 59.6-foot variance that we're requesting there. As you'll see on the property, there really isn't that much space to put in the new leaching system, so we tried to make the best of what's there now. One thing that we had to propose as part of this leaching system is a liner that is going to be situated between the house and the leaching system. Reason for that is because we don't comply with the 20-foot setback, minimum setback for Title V, and we are providing, we're providing 15.2 feet there. We do meet the separation to groundwater. We're providing greater than 5 feet of separation. We are providing erosion control measures to protect the resource areas during construction. And we don't plan to take down any trees as part of this property. However, there is a 20-inch tree that's located between the garage and the leaching system that may have to be taken down just because of the liner location where it is. It's approximately a couple of feet away from the tree, but the contractor will try to see if he can keep that tree in place if he can, but if he cannot, then that one tree will have to be removed. So I think it's a good project. We tried to maximize the distance to the coastal bank as much as possible. And all the septic system work, just so you folks know, is all going to be within a lawn area, a walkway, and a portion of the paved driveway. So we didn't want to put it in any undisturbed areas on the property. So with that, I would take any questions that the board members might have.
Just a couple of points. So it's an existing dwelling that's going to remain.
That's correct. An existing 3-bedroom dwelling. The new septic system is sized for 3 bedrooms.
And then why did this system fail? Is it house transfer or just?
No transfer. I was just told that it's in failure and perhaps the frequency of the pumping of the tank. So the homeowner is being proactive.
Yep.
And replacing the system before it gets too worse.
That's what the homeowner told me. He came in and spoke to me about this, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, I guess. And he was being proactive.
Okay. Can you tell me what the purpose of the liner is?
Well, it's just to prevent the sewage from navigating its way to the full basement. So as a mitigating measure would be to add a liner. It's pretty typical practice. Judy would tell you, what you want to do is, because we don't want that sewage to make its way to the basement, we would put a liner that's 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall, that is, and we set the top of the liner at the same elevation as the breakout of the leaching system. And so it just prevents any sewage from potentially getting to the basement.
It just drives the effluent further down,
Yeah.
so
think-
before it can laterally move,
Right.
it's,
Realistically, in soils like this, you're not going to get a lot of lateral movement anyways, especially that far away from the leaching field. But that's, off Cape where you have more clay or other types of materials that the water finds its way, whichever, and that could be laterally. But in this type of soil, it's usually more down.
it's going down anyhow.
Sand, yeah. So this is just a precaution, as Mike said, to keep it away from the foundation.
Okay, thank you.
Judy, you looked at this house. You said the study wouldn't be acceptable as a bedroom. Is that a cased opening between the study and the hall?
I don't.
Why isn't it acceptable?
I walked through it, it's got built-in bookshelves, and it's got a fireplace, like kitty corner. It's very small, and it's kind of between the hallway and the kitchen. It's like a walkway to go into the kitchen. If you saw it, you wouldn't count it as a bedroom. I can't imagine anybody using it as a bedroom, because of the way it's laid out. It's really from the hallway and the stairs, it's the only way into the kitchen besides walking all the way around the living room and into the dining room. So,
Yeah, and we believe it just doesn't provide the privacy that a bedroom would typically require. So that's another reason why we believe that study would not be considered a bedroom.
I don't even know where you would put a bed in here. Even though it is greater than 70 square feet, it's just the way it's laid out with the fireplace and the,
Or you could
doorways.
remove the bookcases.
well, even if you put them up against the bookcase, you'd be sticking out into the middle of the room. They wouldn't.
Is that a cased opening?
I believe the one into the hallway is, the one in there, it looks like they're
There's
showing
a door on the other
a
one,
door into the kitchen.
but you don't know the size.
That's correct.
It's
You don't know the
small.
size of the cased opening.
No, I don't. It looks like it's probably 4 feet, maybe. I can't read this. But like I said, I went through the house with the engineer and the owner, and I was just like, it's not really, it's not a bedroom. It wouldn't, in so many limiting ways, it wouldn't be used as a bedroom.
And one of the conditions is that they cannot have more than 3 bedrooms.
Yes, the house, yeah,
They could rent it as a 4-bedroom.
right, exactly.
But technically, by our rules, the case opening has to be, I think, 6 feet now to provide lack of privacy by our current rules. Just the technical
For
rules.
existing, it's 5, I think.
5.
Yep. But it also says in our rules that you have, you can look at something and make a judgment call as well. And if you count the total number of rooms here and divide by 2, you really just come up with 3 anyway, so.
Right, that's what I asked. Is this the kind of room you wouldn't count as a bedroom by prior precedent?
Yeah, again, it's usually something that I walk through and I make a determination. On paper, it kind of does look like it could be, but
Other questions, comments? I had just one question. So moving the whole septic system farther up the coastal bank is not done because of the trees or the grade, which it gets very elevated then?
All 3 of the above.
And the
Yeah, all
property
3 of the above. Yeah, there's a property line that
Oh,
runs
yeah, I got
through
I'm
there.
looking at the wrong thing, yeah. And the property
Yeah,
line.
we set the leaching system, if you look at the plan under our swing ties, and dimensions insert there, you'll see we're 10.2 feet away from that property line. And there is a nice little stone wall that runs across there. And then there'd be more vegetation that we'd have to take down as well. And then you'd have more than 3 feet of cover over it. So it just didn't make sense to move it up just to gain a few extra feet.
Okay, other questions or comments? The lot's, I guess, 46,174 square feet. And any questions from the public on 600 Fox Hill Road?
See none? Nope.
No one? Yeah, so can I get?
I can make a motion that we approve this variance with the conditions in Judy's memo.
I'll second.
And Carol, a second. Okay, and Judy, can you read the conditions for us?
So pretty much the same as the last one. The applicant should restrict this property to a maximum of 3 bedrooms and record the restriction on the deed at Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. The applicant shall submit a copy of the executed deed restriction to the board. The engineer shall submit an engineered as-built plan, including as-built elevations, with a written certification that the system has been installed in accordance with the approved plan. No alteration to the floor plan of the dwelling will be allowed without further review by the board or the agent.
Okay, thank you. We can probably take a voice vote. All in favor of the variance for 600 Fox Hill Road, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that variance is granted.
Great, thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, next, any further public comments or future agenda items requests from the board on an issue? We are going to have a review of Mill Hill after probably the second meeting in February. Will be on the agenda.
I've got scheduled to have the airport, not for the next meeting. I need to contact them and see when they can come and give us an update. And also the transfer station. We discussed those the last time to put on the agenda. And then I guess the other thing that we were just talking about was having the short-term rental put on again to discuss the possible increase of the registration fee that's being put into the budget, I believe, for community development. So I'll have to get more details on that and bring that up to you, so we can discuss that further.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then we can get a general further follow-up from Karen Shimwaza if there are questions.
So we have a meeting scheduled in 1 week, and then there's 3 weeks before the following meeting?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that?
For what?
Why? Because last week was a holiday, so we usually meet on the 1st and 3rd. So because we had a holiday, we have to make up, we schedule them
Do we
back.
have things for the agenda for 1 week from now, or
We only have one thing on the agenda.
wouldn't it have been better to have it?
I mean, we could cancel it and push it up to the next meeting, but I don't,
We'll have a meeting on the 10th.
well, then you'd have 2 back-to-back meetings on the 10th and the,
And the 24th, that'd be 2 weeks apart.
We have a meeting the 3rd or the 24th. We have a holiday, one of the Mondays in February.
oh, yeah, right. The
President's
10th is President's Day, I think. Is that right?
No, 17th is President's
That's
Day.
what I'm saying, isn't it Monday?
17th.
The 17th.
So if we had a meeting on the 10th and the 24th, we'd have a meeting every 2 weeks.
Right, but problem is the planning board meets
that's the
the
other
1st and the 3rd, so we have, the only reason why we meet at 3 today on the 3rd Monday is because of them meeting at 4 o'clock. So,
They meet on the 1st and the 3rd.
yes,
So the 10th is the 2nd. That would be ideal.
well, no, they're the 2nd and wait a minute, I'm so confused now. We're the 1st and the 3rd.
We're the 1st and the.
We're the 1st and the 3rd, they're the 2nd and the 4th.
So it's whether we meet at 4 on the 3rd or 3 on the,
Right. we've already posted this, we have a variance on for the 3rd, so, I mean, they'd have to re-notify butters.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem.
I mean, we could meet on the 10th.
But then you're gonna have back-to-back meetings again. We're gonna have one
Well, no,
3rd and the
because-
10th, and not.
No, we're going to cancel the 3rd. If we cancel the 3rd, we have
Can't.
the 10th.
Sounds like an
said
Abbott
she's-
Abbott
Can't.
Costello deal.
They have a variance, they've already notified the butters.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but
So
we'll.
it's going to be a very short meeting the
we'll
next
just-
time.
We'll keep the schedule as is.
Sorry, it's confusing.
20 minutes.
So it'll be
I
a
thought we were
short
gonna-
meeting.
I thought we were gonna put on for the next agenda to add to it, the short-term rental thing anyway, so that's
Yeah,
gonna be a
so we would,
discussion on
so we
that.
would have the short-term rental and one hearing.
Oh, all right, good.
So between the two of us, we have.
So in
over
the,
eight.
at the future meetings on the agenda, we'll have Mill Hill, the airport, the transfer station, and short-term rental regulation. All four things will be like forums,
But they're not on the
Question.
same meeting.
They're not all in the same meeting, no.
not all in the same meeting, no,
Right.
they're spread out.
Right,
Okay,
okay. And, right,
other questions or comments? Comments from the public?
requests from the public, I don't see any.
And then we have minutes from January 6th. Does anybody have a question, or a comment, or a change to the minutes of January 6th? And that's where we approved the fuel storage system regulation revision. Okay, if not, can I get, we can probably take a voice vote on approving the minutes of January 6th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, say no. Okay, so we approve those minutes of January 6th. And I think that's all we have to do today.
Yep.
That's all?
So we can take a
I
motion
move
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn, to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we are adjourned.
27 minutes, that's an indoor record.